So you decided to join the Army, but you're curious, how can you join into the Army at a higher rank than E1? So I've talked about it a few times before in the past, and I've said plenty of times that enlisting to the military at a higher rank than E1, there's really no real reason why you should enlist as an E1. You should at least come in as an E2. Now E3 or E4, that's a different story, but coming into the military as an E2 is definitely a good idea, and it's really not too difficult if you know ahead of time. So in this video, I'm going to be pretty straightforward with you guys. I'm not going to tell you guys anything mind-blowing. I don't know anything that you can really just not look up on the internet. A lot of this stuff you can literally just Google, because that's basically what I'm going to be doing here, except with the exception of one thing that you don't really find that often on like Google searches on ranking up or whatever, but it's definitely a key thing to remember if you don't have any of these key I guess things that will help you rank up. So starting off, I just want to let you guys know that you will not be enlisting into the military for the first time at a rank higher than E4. You're not going to get E5, which would be a sergeant, or anything higher than that. You're not going to get officers straight off the bat. You are going to enlist at a rank either E1, E2, E3, or E4. Probably the most common way that people enlist into the military or in the Army as an E2 is ROTC in high school. So junior ROTC, whether that's Air Force ROTC or Army ROTC or whatever the ROTC program is at your high school, if you have at least 2 years of that, you're going to enlist as an E2 into the Army just straight off the bat. That's probably the most simple way. You just take that class in high school and then you'll enlist as an E2. One of the next most common ways that people enlist as an E2 is just having 1 year of college. So if you have 24 credit hours of college credits, you should enlist into the military as an E2. As an E2, if you have 24 credit hours of college, which would be 2 years of full-time college, then you're going to get E2. So now I'm going to talk about some of the things that most people don't really think about whenever they think about enlisting into the military at a higher rank and what you can actually do to get that. The first one is, I guess, fairly common. It's 1 year of senior ROTC, so college, ROTC. If you've done that, then you're going to enlist at an E2. But some of the more uncommon things is going to be attended a military service academy or academy preparation school for 179 days or fewer. Another one here is has completed phase 2 requirements for the Air Force Civil Air Patrol and has been awarded the Bill Mitchell Award. I'm not really sure what that one is, but it says it right here, so we're gonna go with it. If that applies to you, you'll obviously know what it is, but if it doesn't, then it doesn't. Has taken part in the Naval Sea Cadet Corps, right? So it has been awarded the Quartermaster Award Certificate. So that's another one. Not 100% sure what that is. I'm just being honest with you guys, but it's another thing that will qualify for you to get E2. Another big thing actually here is being a Boy Scout or an Eagle Scout. So you can have the Girl Scout Gold Award Certificate, so Girl Scouts of America, and then the Eagle Scout for boys. If you've got either one of those things, then you're going to enlist as an E2 and you don't have to worry about coming in as an E1. So those are some of the more common things that you can have or do that will qualify you to get E2 into the Army. Now, one of the more lesser known things that I guess isn't talked about that much is the Future Soldier Training Program, right? It's some of these classes that you can do online. You can ask your recruiter about it. If your recruiter doesn't know about it, then you can, do a search for the Future Soldier Training System, I believe is what it's called. And if you complete that training and you complete a PT test and pass it prior to basic training, that will get you E2. So there's these classes that you have to do. It's really not that difficult. And then you can take a PT test and that is supposed to give you E2. I almost forgot to mention this one thing, which your recruiters pretty much will tell you all the time if you want to rank up, I guess because they'll recruit more people because of this. They don't really talk about all these other things, but when you recruit people into the Army, so you yourself recruit some of your buddies or whatever, you're going to have the chance of being enlisted at a higher rank just because you recruited those people. It's not going to be just anybody. You can't just recruit any one person will give you the rank up. There's actually some criteria on how, I guess, good of a person or smart or whatever that person is that you're recruiting. So to get E2, if you refer one person and they actually swear in. So they have to actually go through the process and swear in and enlist before you leave for basic training. So that's the key here, is these people have to actually enlist before you leave for basic training. So if you refer one person with a high school degree, so they're a high school graduate and they score at least a 50 on the ASVAB, okay? So a high school diploma, 50 on the ASVAB or higher. You can also refer two people that are high school graduates, but their ASVAB score is 31 to 49. So they graduated high school, but they got the lower end on the ASVAB. Or you can refer three people that don't meet either of those requirements. So that's basically three people who aren't high school graduates, okay? So that's basically how that's gonna work out. So now, what are some of the ways that you can make E3 or private first class when you are enlisting into the Army? This is what I did, and the reason I got it is this first one right here, which is 48 hours of college courses. So if you have 48 hours of college credits, that's 2 years of full-time college, then you're gonna enlist at E3. There's gonna be nothing else you have to do. You got 2 years of college, you can enlist at an E3. The other thing here is basically the exact same thing, but if you have a 2-year degree, so from like a community college or something, that is also going to give you an E3 enlistment. So it's basically the same thing. I guess there might be some 2-year degrees where you don't actually have 48 credit hours, I'm not sure, but they do have that specified here as a difference. Now, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on this or not, but it's not super clear in some of the things that I've looked up. But if you have already qualified for E2 to enlist in the military E2, so you have ROTC for a high school, you're an Eagle Scout, you're one of those things that qualifies you to become an E2 with the exception of the referrals. What you can do to go from E2 to E3 then, so it kind of stacks on top of each other, is let's say you were a JROTC cadet, you did 2 years of that, and then you referred one person who is a high school graduate with 50 or more on the ASVAB. That will get you to E3, as well as the 2 people that are high school graduates with 31 to 49, and then the 3 people that you refer that aren't high school graduates, that will get you to E3 as well. If you don't have any of those prior things to get you promoted to E2 and you're trying to get to E3 or private first class, how can you do that? Well, basically through the referral system, you have to double what you did to get to E2. So you have to recruit 2 people that are high school graduates with an ASVAB score above a 50, or recruit 4 people that are high school graduates with a ASVAB score of 31 to 49, or you can recruit 6 people that aren't high school graduates, and it doesn't matter what their ASVAB score is. And I'm just saying, if you can recruit 6 people yourself, like you must be like a really good salesperson. Like that's pretty crazy. So I'm curious if anybody's ever really done that, but recruiting 6 people has got to be difficult for you're not a recruiter. So now finally, the only way to make E4 in your initial enlistment into the military is to have a 4-year degree. There's really no ifs, ands, or buts about that. That's literally like the only way to get that. You're not going to be able to recruit a certain amount of people. You're not going to be able to have a certain amount of college credits, except for the fact that you have a 4-year degree. So if you have 3 years and you recruit 4 people, it doesn't matter. You're still not getting E4. So the only way to get E4 or a specialist is to have a 4-year degree. Now, that's going to be it for this video, and I hope I didn't confuse you guys with all of this information and stuff, but the main thing I want to get across to you guys is if you don't have ROTC, if you don't have any of these things, you need to talk with your recruiter about the Future Soldier training system, getting those classes completed, and then taking your PT test, right? So make sure you talk with them about that, and then you don't have to have ROTC or anything, and you can get E2. So there's really no excuse for why you shouldn't make E2 at the beginning of your enlistment into the Army. There's really no excuse of why you shouldn't do that, and that's going to help you guys out a lot, because that little bit of pay difference for those 6 months that it'll take you to get from E1 to E2, just think of it as you throwing away $1,000 if you don't do that. So that's going to be a nice little bonus there. Well, it's not really a bonus, but a nice little pay increase just from E1 to E2. So you want to make sure you do these things. Now, you shouldn't feel pressured to refer people or recruit people. So if you don't want to do that, then obviously you can just do that PT test and the Future Soldier training, and you can get your E2. So if I left anything out in this video, if there's any like recruiters or any prior service people or anything watching this video right now and I missed something, leave your comment down below for all the people who are curious that are watching this video. That would help me out a lot. That would help those people out a lot. So make sure you do that. But that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you can hit that like button. If you want to stick around for some more of my videos, hit that subscribe button. As always, you can message me on Instagram or Snapchat. Links are right here, actually. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys later.